West Penwith is a landscape steeped in history. Abandoned mine shafts punctuate the moors. Victorian engine houses tumble down cliff tops to the sea. Bronze Age Cornish hedges weave through meadows and moorlands. Standing stones and ancient settlements pepper the landscape. And if you dig a little deeper, many undiscovered stories lie just below the bracken and soil. And networks of forgotten pathways have become fragmented as they have fallen into disrepair. But the ancient relics of this historic land are part of what makes West Penwith so special, and can resonate so strongly with the local communities and visitors alike. Part of the work of the Penwith Landscape Partnership is to restore many of the old pathways, creating greater connectivity between ancient sites, uncovering settlements forgotten to history, and restoring the vast network of Cornish hedges, boosting wildlife and protecting the character of this landscape.
I think historically it's always been, because we are right at the end of Britain on that little point of land, even back as far as the sort of Bronze Age and the Neolithic, it sort of stood apart from the rest of Britain. They definitely did their own thing down here. I mean, some of the work we do, we are breaking open sites that haven't really been seen for 40 years, maybe longer. It's really exciting because you think, well, nobody's really had a good look at this for a really long time. And you've got a number of sites that I work with, about 50 over the 5-year project. And that can involve vegetation clearance or taking photos or organising a drone contractor or speaking to a 3D reconstruction artist or an artist doing workshops in the landscape with children. I suppose the bottom line is we're working with the people who live here to help them manage their landscape better. A number of sites that we've been particularly working a lot on, Mulf Ravine Courtyard House was a real favourite. There was a historic kind of little gate access to it, so people could get there from the footpath, but it sort of got grown in and people couldn't really see what they were looking at either. So a nice project that my colleague Matt on the access side of the project has been working with the landowners.
My bit is all about footpaths. It's all about supporting the management and maintenance of the footpath network here in Penwith, and supporting people to get to ancient sites. What we've got going on today and this week is we've got a local contractor who is putting in access into the courtyard houses. It is creating new access into an ancient site where there wasn't any before. Enabling people to access the landscape is important where we want to encourage people to care about the landscape. I think people need to be able to get in it and walk in it and appreciate it first person in a sense.
Everything in West Penwith is so pretty much ancient, and the whole area here is so old. Within Europe it's one of the oldest continually used heritage landscapes. So the field systems, a lot of them were set up in prehistory and they haven't really changed much since, or they've only been minorly adapted.
These hedges we've got in Penwith are, some of them are thousands of years old. The functional features, they are here to keep livestock in the fields. Also, hugely importantly, they're archaeologically precious. These hedges we've got in Penwith are, some of them are thousands of years old. And what's extraordinary about them is not only are they functional and archaeologically important, they're fantastic for wildlife as well. They're absolutely buzzing, they're full of wildlife. These are our biodiversity reserves. The absolutely extraordinary thing is that some of these are old, if not older than the pyramids, and have been in continual use since the time that they were constructed. So one of the things that's an important part of my job is to offer people training, to support people that want to construct and learn how to repair hedges. Crucially important that these skills continue. I'm so concerned about the future of biodiversity on the planet, but I'm filled with hope. Just being outside gives me hope. I see how nature can recover, and I think it's a fabulous world we live in, and yeah, just by getting outside we start to appreciate it.
I think everybody has just enjoyed finding out more about things that they've walked past. People who they just want to find out a bit more about what's in their backyard and help look after it. They do feel connected to it. The volunteers that we're working with and enthusing and training up, and they're kind of like the frontline workforce. And we've got some fantastic volunteers who really are probably even more knowledgeable than some of the officers at this point about the little bits that they're doing, and that's really great.
When I met Laura, she has a huge amount of knowledge about the actual archaeology of these sites, and it's wonderful to collaborate with someone like that because we are able to share ideas and our knowledge and gain a greater understanding about what our interpretations of these sites are. I think it is really important to connect the local community to the ancient sites because without their understanding, the ancient sites could be lost. With people like Laura on hand, we were able to learn a lot about the sites and it just added to the magic of being out there volunteering.
Hopefully we inspire people to carry on. That's all we can hope for, I think.
Working together across the many strands of the PLP, we are supporting one another to strive for a future where people and wildlife can coexist in this landscape, whilst restoring and protecting the rich cultural history of the area for local communities for generations to come.